difficulty in bringing him home.
I really welcome this discussion in terms of having a sense of clarification about who a victim is in a bill that's about victims, or at least half of it. I especially support Amendments 2 and 8, but I have some, I suppose, questions to those moving the other amendments, because while I think it can be a problem in terms of having too narrow a definition, it strikes me that we also could cause real problems for victims if we have too broad a definition. I'm obviously thinking about resources and overstretching support on the one hand, and so many people can be victims of crime if you start broadening it out so much. I mean, as hinted at by Baroness Jones of Ulscombe in a very interesting Amendment 3, the families of perpetrators, it's a tragedy for them too, and they can also be victims, but whole ranges of people could say that they were victims from friends, acquaintances, you know, people who really genuinely suffered. But are we seriously trying to put them all in scope? So I want to know how we can ensure that, even if we are acting in generosity to try and broaden this definition out, that we don't actually water down a focus on the actual victims of crime that this bill is designed to help. In other words, where do we draw the line? In that context as well, I am slightly concerned about a broadening out of now what we constitute as victims of crime, because in Amendment 4, as Lord Russell of Liverpool explained, it then becomes antisocial behaviour, and he gave a very moving account of what it feels like to be a victim of antisocial behaviour. But I think probably we could all stand up and give moving accounts of being victims of something, bullying, all sorts of behaviour that would actually make people suffer. And I'm slightly concerned that, again, we end up relativising the experience of the victims of crime in an attempt at broadening this out too much. And whether we like it or not, we culturally, at the moment, live in a society in which victimhood is valorised. And I don't want this bill to contribute to that relativising experience, because I do think there's a danger that we could, if we make it too broad, trivialise the real victims of crime. But then you can rightly ask me, who do I mean by the real victims? But I don't want it to go too far so we lose all sense of its meaning.